reporter in the country.
Was this released as Romney's revenge?
I think this was Romney's revenge. And the irony of this, of course, Alex, is had Donald Trump selected Mitt Romney, Mr. Senor probably would have been the number 2 man at the State Department. Now, there is treachery. By the way, Senor was also implicated in the release of the Billy Bush NBC attack on Trump.
By the way, I mean, I want to get into why they do this, the polonium, how big a deal this is. It was a sensation when it happened to Alexander Litvinenko, and then, of course, it started coming out even in the British news that it was probably a false flag by British intelligence to blame the Russians. Why would they poison this guy? Well, because he was a triple agent, and it was useful to then demonize Russia. Clearly, let's get into motives in all of this, and how rare is this polonium. There's no such polonium-like substance, polonium. Now, obviously, the deep state's trying to back off that because this is so sensational, it didn't kill you. Now you will be able to testify in Congress when they're demonizing you. By a stroke of luck, I guess you didn't drink the full drink or the full potion. I know, the doctors don't know. But this is just simply incredible. Let's walk through the math here, the Machiavellian calculus, the stratagems. Why would they want to get rid of you? Obviously, they don't want you to be able to testify when you're being demonized, but also there's an obsession with you. And I knew who you were. I met you at a JFK deal. Okay, great. But then about, 2 years ago, we actually met in person, for the second time, and he came to the studio. But reading about you, checking into you, obviously, as I did years ago, New York Times article, Washington Post article, Washington Times article, hundreds of them that you're in, People magazine, just all sorts of New Yorker magazine, where they're like, look at this guy. He's the guy that got, Nixon back into politics. He's the guy that got Reagan to meet with Trump and envisioned this thing from the start. And so they see you as this key guy that recognizes talent and as a key juncture points over and over again. And so reading, and then even getting the WikiLeaks, which we're both in, but also in the same email, but also getting the other documents that came out via Project Veritas, where you're the MVP that must be taken out. I mean, the White House, Hillary, all of them. I'm not building you up here. Quite frankly, I'm asking, why are they so obsessed with you, Roger Stone?
Alex, I'm not really sure. Perhaps the fact that I am effective on behalf of my beliefs has something to do with it. Look, during this past campaign, a half dozen reporters, New York Times, Washington Post, Wall Street Journal, people I trust, people I think are honest, straight reporters, no bias, try to report it as they see it. Yes, there are some. In fact, there's many. At least 3 reporters who had spent actual time with both Bill and Hillary Clinton told me, these people hate you. And I said, yeah, I know that. It has to do with my book, Imagine. And they said, no, you don't understand. They are obsessed with you. They despise you. They want to know what you're doing. A friend of mine, whose wife works for Hillary, told me that they gave her my book. She took it into the bedroom one night, and they could hear her shrieking. That son of a bitch, that no good, I can't say it on your show, starts with a C, son of a bitch. So, Alex, these people despise me because I helped expose them, but I don't think it was them, I must tell you. I also...
Well, let's just say it. They think you are Trump's brain, which you're not.
I am not.
You are part of his brain. He definitely...
No, Alex, I am a loyal supporter of Donald Trump. I have thought since 1988 he had the size and the guts to take on a system that I saw getting increasingly rotten.
Yeah, but let's admit it. He even admits you're the main booster, the main guy, you got him with Reagan, you pushed him, he's been very humble 30 years ago. I mean, Trump would give you credit. You're not his brain. I'm saying you're somebody he bounces stuff off of, so they're going after Trump's biggest supporters.
I am just fortunate to have been here on the sidelines. He's the one who got elected. He's the one who's had the courage to take on the
no doubt. I'm saying from their perspective.
Well, we saw the WikiLeaks in which they pointed out my involvement in the recount and that I was now with Trump and that was a problem. I don't need to tell you that David Brock and Media Matters for America and George Soros, God knows what they spent, 30, 40, $50 million attacking me relentlessly from everything from the color of my socks to things I allegedly said. You can still go on Twitter now and you see their mindless bots cranking it out. Stone knew everything in advance. Stone and Manafort and some guy named Page, who I've never heard of, worked for the Russians, met with the Russians. Then
by the way, I can say privately, when we've talked about Assange, all media tries to get a hold of him. You're like, I've got a contact that's, someone that knows him. As a journalist, I'm trying to, get info to him or get info. I mean, that's what everybody tries to do with Assange. Every news agency out there does what you do. This is just crazy.
Yeah, no, my trying to find out what Assange was up to is part of my, journalistic and activist
Sure, who
mission.
wasn't asking what Assange was going to release next?
But this most recent attack on Trump, the fabricated memo, the claim that he was entertained by prostitutes
Your party's this weekend, right?
in Moscow,
Yeah.
I
Order
know
your cake.
for an absolute fact from one of the trusted and loyal and really outstanding security people who works for Donald Trump. This man is a decorated police officer in his prior career and a man of enormous integrity. Told me that one of the contacts that was kind of assigned as a walker for Trump, who they believed worked for the government, told the security guard that he would send a couple of ladies up to the room for Mr. Trump's enjoyment later in the evening after the program. And this security guard said, the hell you will. You will not do that. You will send nobody to Mr. Trump's room. He is not interested. Now, I also know that there were security guards posted outside Donald's door and at the front and the rear of the hotel to be certain that there would be no illicit effort to do this. Donald Trump, as he said himself in his press conference, Alex, far too savvy.
Well, listen. You're out of the political event, and a guy shows up with hot chicks and says, here they are. It's happened to me. You're being set up. Donald Trump's all about being in control. He would never do something like that. This is so insane. You own a business, you own a company, you run a major operation. You wouldn't be around 10 minutes if you were having hookers pee on you. Then let's expand on this. I don't look into personal stuff.